parents. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Boston.
That's where you met Rex?
Yeah, we were both in college.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go to school?
We were studying at Berkeley, College of Music.
Cool. How many are you in the band?
Well, there's 4 typically that play.
Okay.
But Rex and I are the ones that kind of do all the writing and leading of the band. And our guitar player is Xander Naylor, and main bass player is Ben Davis, but we have some different subs.
How did you guys decide to come to Brooklyn? How'd that idea happen?
Well, we started out in Somerville, which is a sweet scene like across the river, like next to Cambridge in Boston, and it's a sweet small scene that we kind of started there, played all around there, and I played with a lot of different bands as well. It's like just a freelance musician, and I loved Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, but it was just small, and after like doing it for like 5 years and playing at all the clubs every week, just like over and over.
Right.
And being from Boston, I just wanted to like switch it up, and the New York scene is great. I was already playing gigs here, so it just seemed like the most logical thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you like Brooklyn?
I love Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, and I love the momentum here that I feel. I love how it feels like it's alive, unlike Boston, which I love, but it like feels like you kind of figure it out after a while, and you know what's happening. In Brooklyn, there's things that are like dying and being born every day as far as venues, restaurants, people, whatever. So it's just like, it's, you never really know it because it's always changing, and I kind of like that.
How did you become involved with Super Coda? How did you meet that?
Oh, Valerie. Let's see. When was the beginning of that? I feel like I play in a group called Cracked Vessel with Xander, the guitar player in the Rex Complex, and this guy Ben Stuyvesant plays trumpet. And I think we first played one of her shows, maybe Ben hooked it up or something. So I met Valerie by playing in that band at Orwell. And I just started checking out Orwell more because she was just getting such interesting high-level musicians, improvising musicians especially. Like, and I lived like 2 blocks from there, so it's just like this amazing thing, the scene that she was kind of creating. And then I got the Rex Complex involved, and she graciously gave us like a weekly gig for a while, and just got to know her through that whole scene. And she's definitely pioneering some movement in Bushwick. I was really sad to hear that the Orwell thing kind of got fucked up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she'll find it. I mean, it seems like she is finding plenty of other stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your instrument?
My main instrument is a drum set, but I play a lot of other stuff a little bit and write.
What other stuff?
Well, I mean, I play like a little bit of woodwinds, and I play enough of like keyboards, guitar, bass. I mean, it's funny saying I can play guitar, but I do write music kind of for guitar and stuff. I'm not like a very proficient player, but I can like pick it up and figure out harmonies and melodies and stuff. But I mostly compose all of the keyboard.
Who would you cite as some of your musical influences?
Oh God, let's see. It's. I mean, I guess to answer that, if I go back to like the people that were the most, I guess, significant, my most developing time, which I guess musically it was kind of like 13 years old through like maybe 25 or something. I'm 30 now, so like that was like when a lot of stuff was happening, changing. I guess like the first band that really, because I was a classical musician before that, in that whole world, and listening to like hip hop and like metal and pop and classic rock and stuff. I guess as a kid, and a lot of classical music, but it was all, I wasn't like obsessing about any of it really. It was all just happening, and I love music. I knew it, but I always knew that's what I wanted to do. But the first band that like really blew me away and I like came to was a group called The Band. Something about The Band, just like I could talk about them for a long time, but that was a big one for me. That was when I was about 13. And then Funkadelic, George Clinton's like kind of rock band in the 70s, was huge. And then I guess jazz kind of kept, like Miles Davis's quintet in particular, John Coltrane's quartet. That kind of blew my mind. Oh, at the same time, electronic music. I was introduced to Aphex Twin, who changed my life dramatically, and that led to a lot of other electronic stuff that I really dig. And Mr. Bungle, that was huge when I was maybe a sophomore. A band called Tortoise from Chicago, instrumental, kind of progressive, like post rock, I guess they call it. I could keep going, but the thing is, I feel like the thing that stands out a lot. Oh, Mikachu's another huge one that I really like. She was like probably one of the last bands that like recently I was like floored by, and I feel like it's a new sound and it's really exciting. But the thing that like usually I gravitate most towards, um, I guess it's music that is hard to describe because it's not. There's I feel like in a way to oversimplify, there's like kind of like two kinds of music or two kinds of art, which would be like traditional or non-traditional, and I have so much respect for both if it's done well. But the stuff that I gravitate towards, I think, is the stuff that's more non-traditional and will just take elements of lots of different stuff and kind of do have its way with it.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess that's something I feel like we're doing in the Rex Complex. And that's what I always perk my ears when I hear something that's like kind of new, and a lot of that has to do with. Well, it has a lot to do with a lot of things, but something that stands out to me a lot is it's like sounds too. Like there aren't new chords or new notes; they've all been used before, but there are still new sounds and textures that haven't been used before. So like, especially like Mikachu, like you hear that record, it's like you're hearing new sounds, and it's really exciting. It's like ear candy.
So tell me about touring. I know that
Uh-huh.
you toured earlier this year. How
Yep.
was that?
It was incredible. I mean, it's difficult. I booked that whole tour. And we did a Kickstarter to raise money for it. We did it with this band that I work with called Railbird as well. And I mean, it was incredibly fun. Had a lot of great shows. Had some okay shows, but had a lot of fun and got to meet and play for a lot of great people. And I love traveling. I love being on tour. I've toured with other bands as well. But doing it myself and booking the tour myself, it took like maybe, I don't know, 4 months or something of like almost a full-time job, just being online, emailing and scheduling and like routing, stuff that you don't always think about with touring, but like making sure like it makes sense to go from point A to point B to point B to C. It's like, it was crazy. It was a good experience, but and I want to tour more. But it's kind of like daunting because you raise all the money, spend all the time booking it, and then you do it, and then you come back, and it's kind of like you just have to do it right again. Otherwise, like, what's the point of going all the way out to like Texas and all these places? You don't go back the following like within 6 months or something. And I couldn't quite handle this. Like, I mean, I hadn't, I wanted to like write music and stuff, and for that last 4 months, I was just booking stuff. So we'll do it again. Hopefully. What will be sweet is if we can jump on another band's tour and have like a tour manager or something. I'll do it again if I have to, but it's not like the greatest thing for me to be thinking about.
Sure. Well, Rex, he shared one of his highlights from the tour with me, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll hear what it is.
My highlight from the tour?
Yeah, this past March.
Oh, was it playing at Sam's Barbecue in Austin? That was sweet. That was super sweet and amazing barbecue, and what an amazing thing that was. Those people just doing it in that backyard. I love that. I felt lucky about that. We were hanging out with some of the guys in Tune Yards. And we were looking for gigs because we kind of went to South by Southwest without too much setup. So we were just looking for like different house shows to play. And this guy was like, "Oh yeah, there's this barbecue joint. It's kind of out of the way, but they were trying to find bands to play." And I was like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And like we just went and found Sam, who was just like 350-pound guy with gold teeth who has this amazing way of talking, and had like a generator and just hooked us up in the backyard. Brought all our friends that were there that were also in bands, and we had a party. We played till all hours. It was so fun. That was a highlight for me for sure too.
How often do you play DIY locations? Is that like?
Often, and we want to do it more. That's another thing about Brooklyn that really excites me is that whole scene. So I think the key is, we've kind of taken the last few months off a little bit to like refocus on other things and kind of come back with more of a specific plan, which we're starting to do now. And I mean, it's just like Brooklyn has so many great scenes, and one of the great things and difficult things about our band is that we don't neatly fit into like a genre or a scene, I think. So, in a lot of the DIY spots kind of have these scenes, which I love and I play in various other projects as well, but I still want to like move the Rex Complex around a little bit and just see like almost like what bites and where like the crowd and where the bands are the most excited about having us there, and like I don't know, get more involved with that one.
Cool.
But I do love that. I love that whole culture.
Yeah.